Good evening and welcome to the American Dreamers radio show, heard only here on 55 KRCV Talk Station. Tonight we've got three beautiful and amazing women joining us today to talk about some interesting opportunities for you in general and a very special event in particular. But before we get into that, I want to say we're going to be missing Tom tonight. So Janet, Melissa, Jeannie, if you'd like to hop in and sort of fill a co-host spot during this segment, because I don't know if I can wing it all the way myself. Feel free. Anyway, so the women I mentioned are Jeannie Porter, was the founder of Women in Business Networking, which is a program of the Better Business Bureau of Dayton and Miami Valley. So she's a two-timer, which just meaning that this is her second time on her show. We liked her so much, we wanted to get her back. We also have Melissa Kuchar of the BBB of Dayton and Miami Valley. She is the vice president of business relations. And the last but truly not least, we have enjoying a second career, Janet Jackson. You know that was going to happen. I had to. But Janet Jackson is the owner of Professional Organizer and Productivity Consultant. She's the owner of Organization Solutions, LLC. She herself is a professional organizer and productivity consultant. And you will find out in a little bit why they are here and in what capacity they're associated with Jeannie and her Women in Business Networking group. That was a lot. God, Tom. All right. But before we get into interviewing Jeannie, Janet, and Melissa, I wanted to notify you all of, once again, an upcoming Launch and Learn session, which comes up the first Monday of every month. So that'll be coming up. That makes it September 4th, James? First Monday of September? September 4th. I know it's Labor Day weekend, but just come on out. Launch and Learn. It is a program that's set up by Greater Cincinnati Independent Business Alliance, also known as CINBA, and you can check them out on Facebook, CINBA, or you can go to their website, gcinba.org. Fantastic organization. We have partnered with them proudly this year to support the work they do, which is to support and provide resources and continuing education for small businesses. They're really doing a lot to build local communities here in the greater Cincinnati area. So Launch and Learn, $15 if you're not a member. If you are a member, it's actually far cheaper than that. Works out to be like $12 or $13. Let's see. So that's going on. Also coming up is interesting, talking about building communities in Cincinnati. There's a program, it's sort of nationwide, but it's called Summer Streets, and it is coming to Cincinnati, and it is fabulous. What a great idea. A lot of fun, but also a community builder. Now, what it does is it's going to open up the largest public spaces available to cities, and that namely is our streets. And what they do is they block off I think it's something like a mile in different communities. And it creates a free space, free of cars, for people to run, walk, bike, juggle, fly, climb, whatever. Think about kids. Anyways, these free activities are scheduled in certain areas along this corridor, but there's also going to be music, there'll be food, there's going to be crafts, there's stuff for kids, there's stuff for adults, older people, and of course, the retail shops that are in these communities are also going to be there and probably promoting specials and things like that. So it's a wonderful event to explore. It is going to be this year in Cincinnati, first year. It will be located in East Walnut Hills / Walnut Hills and North Side. So two really emerging communities that are really fantastic, have great local businesses. So check it out. Facebook is probably the best place to get information about it. It's called Cincy with a Y, Summer Streets, all one word. And actually, I just want to plug the organization that has put it together, because often you only hear about the fun, but I think it's important to think about the work that goes into creating these kinds of events of fun and community building. So this is Interact for Health, which is an organization that was formerly called the Health Foundation of Greater Cincinnati. And they've actually teamed up with ArtsWave, another fantastic nonprofit organization, and they sponsor a series of community events, just like Summer Streets, but also a lot of other ones. And actually 21 different organizations were funded by this program of Interact for Health and ArtsWave. The total funding budget was $300,000. That's what that organization was able to raise and dispense to 21 different organizations to bring fun, to your neighborhood, to your community. So yay! Cincy Summer Streets on Facebook. You know what? I'm totally not as funny when Tom's not here. Isn't that terrible? Oh. All right. Anyways, moving along. Let's see. I also want to plug a couple of other upcoming events, coincidentally. This Friday, August 15th, this is coming up Friday, I believe they're in 2 different locations, but there is something called Coffee Talk with K. Coffee Talk. And it is a networking, sort of a breakfast meeting that's actually organized by Women in Business Networking.
That's
right, Jean?
That's right.
Sound familiar?
Yes, it sounds familiar to me.
So August 15th, it's in the morning, of course, because that's when you have coffee. The topic for this Friday is called Financial Planning for Women. Tagline, are we dependent on others? A very good question. I already know the answer. These coffee talks occur every 3rd Friday of the month. They are free to the public. There is no reason why you shouldn't come and just check it out for yourself once and find out what kind of benefits there might be for you personally or professionally. If you do join as a member of WIBN, it's still free, but there's a lot of other benefits to that. So come on out, check them out. It's going to be in 2 locations. One is in Dayton. It's at Elements 4 Design, and 4 is like the Roman numeral IV. Elements 4 Design, 3680 Wise Road in Dayton. And then the second one is right over here in Westchester, and that's at the Westchester Marymount Hotel, right off of the Union Center exit off 75. And that's going to be the same topic. But wherever you are, you got no excuse not to go because it's free. One last thing also. WIBN is also doing a social media Saturday, measuring social media, which is great because a metric is really important in determining whether anything is working. Should you put more money into it or try something different? Pivot? We'll talk about pivot later. But Social Media Saturday is going to happen this Saturday, August 16th. That's always on the 3rd Saturday of every month. And that is at Audio Etc. 551 Congress Park Drive, Centerville. And incidentally, I have heard that even if you don't want to go to social media, if you're just, a regular person, you don't really have an interest in this, I have heard you got to go check this place out because it is like the amusement park of home entertainment. I've got like 3 bobbleheads here in the studio. Everyone's like, yep. Mm-hmm. So check it out. Audio Etc. 551 Congress Park Drive, Centerville. And Jeannie, if they want, if I've talked too quickly and they want to go and get more information on this, where should they go?
You can go to the website. It's WIBN.org. And all of our events, there's an events page, and it'll list all of our events there.
Okay. And Social Media Saturday is also free, correct?
It is free. Mm-hmm.
Free. Mm-hmm. How do you guys make any money?
We find other ways.
We'll talk about that, right? We'll talk about that. Okay. One quick thing before we run to a commercial break is 2 little emails. Last week we did a show with another 2-timer, John Humphrey, who was from the Humphrey family of Cincinnati, who ran the very popular restaurant chain called Zeno's. And John, who used to be a busboy, dishwasher, cook, you name it, he was there as a family member of that business. He is bringing Zenovers back, deep fried calzones, basically called the Zenover, in the form of a mobile food kitchen. That's what he calls it, food truck. And he was talking about launching a Kickstarter campaign to get him that final funding in order to be able to serve it up. he said it was going to open up August 1st, but it hasn't. And we gotten a couple of emails from people very excited about Zine-Over saying, where's the Kickstarter page? So I just want to tell you all, it's coming. Please just check again. Love your dedication and enthusiasm for the Zine-Overs and for bringing back a part of the Greater Cincinnati cultural food heritage. So go back to Kickstarter and check again for Zine-Over, maybe by the end of this week, so the 14th or something, or after you go to the coffee talk on Friday. You then go to the website and check for Zine-Over. All right, James, we're going to a commercial. When we'll be back, we'll be talking to Jeannie Porter, Melissa Kuchar, and Janet Jackson. You're listening to American Dreamers on 55 KRC, the talk station. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the American Dreamers radio show on 55 KRC, as if you couldn't read the radio dial, the talk station. We are in the studio tonight with Jeannie Porter, the founder of Women in Business Networking, a program of the Better Business Bureau of Dayton and Miami Valley. We also have with us Janet Jackson. Hi, you thought I was going to go to Melissa. We also have with us Janet Jackson, who apparently is super organized and productive, and she helps other people get that way. So I need to talk to you later. And we have Melissa Kuchar, who's going to be talking at this event coming up pretty soon. She is a vice president of business relations of the Better Business Bureau. But before we get into that, I understand there's a correction to be made.
Oh, on the Coffee Talk in North Dayton, it's at Elements for Interiors rather than Designs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But is it still the Roman numeral?
It is.
IV?
Yes, okay. It is.
All right, good. And they can still find that on the website,
sure,
WIBN.org.
It's on the website, yes.
Okay, good. So go there. And then Saturday, social media still, right?
Social media Saturday,
yes. Audio, et cetera?
At audio, et cetera,
okay.
Yes.
And don't take your husband. It's hard on your wallet.
Well, that sounds like fun. Anyways, so ladies, you are here together, sort of unified for a reason, for an event. Tell us a little bit about that coming up.
So this is the 7th year of Women in Business Networking, a program of your Better Business Bureau, Dayton, Miami Valley. This is our 7th conference. And the conference is designed for success-minded women from all walks of life who recognize the benefits of setting aside one day to invest in their personal and professional growth. It's a great place to meet other business women and make the connections that are so critical to our careers.
Very cool. And what will you be doing with this event?
This is actually my 3rd year chairing the conference. So we've put together a committee of women that do different things. Mm-hmm. So we have a committee member, Linda Jones, that handles all of our exhibitors and organizing that for the setup for the day. And then Heather McFadgen, she is the committee member for all of the raffle prizes and door prizes. And then Caroline Mattis, she is doing all of the registration and all of those kinds of things. So in the words of John North, what I do is become the conductor and make sure that the day runs smoothly. So we're hoping that, knock on wood, this will be another successful year for WIBN's conference.
Cool. So you're actually organizer, productivity consultant, and delegator.
Right. I just need an implementer. If we can figure that out, that'd be great.
That's the delegation part is challenging as well. And this is your 3rd year being involved?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And Janet, I understand you've been involved for a little longer than that.
Well, not necessarily from a conference planning standpoint. My first experience with Women in Business Networking was 5 years ago attending the conference. I had been invited to attend the conference, and I was so impressed with my experience, I've never left. I've come ever since. I've joined Women in Business Networking And it truly is a day of being poured into. Just an incredible experience for women who are balancing work, life, perhaps motherhood, all kinds of things. So it's a wonderful conference. And then the last 2 years, I've had the opportunity to be a speaker at the conference. And in fact, you mentioned delegating, and that is my breakout session this year, is the art of delegating.
See how I segued right into
Very nice.
Aha, Tom. Anyways, that's really interesting. So can you give us, people hear about conferences or these sort of day-long events, whether they're geared towards getting a job in a traditional sense or an expo where you're going to, like a business sort of a setting. But this, I understand, is a little different. And I think you alluded to that in your description of it. But can you give us a sense and go back and talk about what it was like for you as an attendee the first time?
Yes, I can talk about that.
Yay!
My first time attending, like I said, I just felt very poured into. I've been to obviously many conferences in different settings, whatever they may be. And so often you leave a conference kind of wiped out on overload. Mm-hmm. I always leave the Women in Business Networking Conference feeling energized and ready to go. I developed new relationships. The woman who owns with her husband Audio Etc., she and I sat together at our lunch at our very first conference, and we've been friends ever since. So it's a very warm, nurturing environment. You don't feel competition. You don't feel jealousy or anything like that. Just truly women wanting to support each other. And then the programs are all follow that lead, where the women are trying to help you, even if you're in the same type of business, whether it be leadership, coaching, consulting. Everyone really seems to have each other's back. So it's a very unique experience.
At the risk of getting some email about it later, do you think that this conference, with like the population being primarily women, you think it runs differently or has a different flavor than the ones that sort of are co-ed?
I think so. I think we let our guard down a little bit more, and we're coming from the same place. So, yeah, I think so. It's high energy. Like I said, you just feel poured into and you leave feeling energized as opposed to being overwhelmed and sucked dry.
That's a great visual, by the way, being poured into.
It is.
So, Jeannie, you're the founder of Women in Business Network, and so you're probably the brainchild of this type of event, this kind of conference, as well as the brainiac for a lot of the things that Women in Business and Networking have done. But give me a sense of how that day is somewhat structured. I mean, Janet mentioned that she's doing a breakout session, so there's sort of that, which is kind of a traditional event. But what are some of the other things that people might find there?
Well, I'd love to do that, Sunho. We open up with a continental breakfast. We provide a breakfast. And then we have what we call our 3 keynote speakers. We have an opening speaker in the morning that opens up the day. And it kind of sets the tone for the conference, a motivational kind of thing.
Who's going to be the keynote speaker this year?
One of the keynotes, first thing in the morning, is Sonia Jackson Miles, and she will be speaking on great leaders have great relationships. And then during the lunch hour, we have another keynote, and that's Rhonda Ray. And her presentation is Minding the Gap in Servant Leadership. I love that. And
is she British by any chance?
No, but isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And that's where it came from. She was in London and had that visual about minding the gap. So that's very neat. And then our final keynote is Robin Elston, and her presentation is on experienced servant leadership as a celebration of seasons.
Interesting.
I know, it's very interesting how she's taking the spring, summer, fall, winter seasons and talking about that with servant leadership. It'll be a great experience.
Yeah, just really, really unique titles for this type of stuff.
Which works into the theme of our conference this year it is the heart of servant leadership. So, which is a little different than just normal leadership, servant leadership.
Oh, yeah. You could take that to Washington, D.C. Although I'm not sure you get a lot of attendees, but that's as political as I'll get. And, okay, walk away. Walk away. All right. We got just a few minutes before we go back to a go to a commercial break. But I totally forgot at the beginning of this segment, we usually thank our sponsors. So I'd like to take a quick moment out to do that now. We have a major sponsor from Motorists Mutual Insurance Company. And they're one of the largest in the Midwest region. And they enjoy this status because they provide fabulous policies through great independent agencies. And they firmly believe in supporting these mom and pop agencies because they are your neighbors. They know the regions best. They know how to find the best policies, the best coverages for you because they don't go to this huge algorithm or a generic formula. So thank you, Motorist Mutual Insurance Company. One of the independent agencies they work through is HTT Agency, located over on the west side. One of the longest running, very well-respected, successful independent agencies. Been around maybe 50 years or something like that. Anyways, Tom would be the one to know because it's his agency. And they do a fabulous job. Great people working there. If you'd like just a review of what you got, if you got home, auto, business, fishing boats, and a brand new thing is food trucks. And that came out from last week's show. But special coverage for that kind of a niche industry. So, Tom's got access to a lot of different companies that do that kind of specialty. So you want to get something that'll fit you good. You want to review what you have. Give them a call, 741-2100, 741-2100. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to American Dreamers on 55 KRC, the talk station. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Me Alone on American Dreamers, the radio show dedicated to supporting, celebrating, and connecting small business entrepreneurs and great resources. And one of those resources is brought to us today by Jeannie Porter of WIBN, also with Melissa Kuchar from the Better Business Bureau, and Janet Jackson's involved too. And she's a fantastic organizer and productivity consultant. Her business is Organization Solutions, LLC. So we've been talking, if you missed the first part of the show, we've been talking about this conference coming up that's presented by WIBN. But we didn't talk about the date of the conference or how people might register for it if they want to come and things like that. So when is this leadership conference going to take place?
Well, that's a great question. It's actually Wednesday, September 24th. And the conference will actually begin about 8 a.m. with a continental breakfast with registration from about 8:30 to 9:30. And then we like to wrap up the day by around 4 o'clock. So we hope we can get people out so they can get home and take care of the things that they need to, or get back to the office and tidy up a few things for the day. And the best place to go to for registration for the conference is WIBN.org. So that's womeninbusinessnetworking.org. And the registration you would go to it says Leadership Development Conference. And we actually have an early bird special going on right now, and it expires on August 17th. So if you register before August 17th,
which is next Monday.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It'll be here before we know it.
Is it next Monday or next Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Oh, God.
Sunday.
Not very far.
Yeah. Okay.
And
get on it,
save
people.
some money.
Mm-hmm.
So get in there and
So
register.
how much is registration if they do it at the event?
At the event, it will be $150 for non-WIBN members.
Okay.
And then $125 for WIBN members.
Okay.
But if that early bird registration, it's $99.
Ooh.
So save some money. The other opportunity for registration is as an exhibitor. And so we briefly talked about Linda Jones is the committee member for our exhibitors. So as an exhibitor, whether you have goods to sell, you can come in and sell your wares. We've had in the past business owners that have sold hats and jewelry and scarves or
Really? Like from their business or just sort of like
Retail.
kitchen table entrepreneurs?
Retail. Mhm.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Or home business consultants. It's a great opportunity for businesses like that as well.
Okay.
But also for larger companies, professional or promotional product businesses. That's also a great opportunity to exhibit. Last year we had about 55 businesses exhibit. It's a great opportunity.
Wow.
And we have prizes to give to everyone that visits all of those exhibit tables. So we have some great
So
gifts.
like door prizes?
Correct.
Drawn at random? That's nice. 55 exhibitors. That's a lot. Big marketplace. How many people attended last year? Do you have that? Do you have like a sense of how many people came?
We do. Our registration last year was about 260.
Wow.
So our goal this year is 300, but we're going to, go big or go home. 350. We want to do 350 this year.
Well, I think we should be able to get you 2 from the show.
Right. Or 4, right? The 4 of us at least. We'll be there.
Under promise, over deliver. So great. So it sounds like the marketplace is great. It's great place for whether you're doing business to business or business to consumer, right?
Correct.
And you're open to kitchen table entrepreneurs as well as corporate presence. That's fabulous. Registration early. Do it by this Friday. $99 or on site for $150. But if you're a member, it's less.
It is less.
So what is the cost for an annual membership?
For Women in Business Networking, it's $175 for an individual. We also offer a corporate membership, which for 5 women within a corporation or a company for $750. Or if you're an accredited business of the Better Business Bureau, you enjoy the benefits of WIBN as an accredited business.
Oh, for free.
Yes.
Part of the benefits.
That's right.
Nice. Okay. So that gets you into the conference. Men, can they come?
There are half a dozen or so men that usually attend our conference, yes, and they are welcome to attend.
Awesome.
And we actually have a male speaker this year.
Yes.
You do?
Yes. So Jim Booker is speaking on reinventing yourself in today's job market.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Sun-Ho, can I mention that the conference is being held at the Sinclair Ponit Center in downtown Dayton, and I really believe women who attend will leave the conference with new connections, renewed energy, and the skills to pursue the next big thing in their careers. It's a fantastic day.
Wonderful. Again, so it's Wednesday, September 24th from 9 to 4. Nice day. And you have a breakfast that you serve. You have a lunch, a light lunch, and several breakout sessions, speakers. Are there smaller like networking groups, like facilitated groups, or do people just sort of mingle and network and build these relationships in between?
I would say quite a bit of networking and mingling happens throughout the day. First thing in the morning, you'll see people start a group together during breakfast. It's not a formal breakfast, but to come and sit down and chat for a little bit. And then even lunch, you'll see people mingling around together and business cards being passed and people getting to know each other better.
Can I mention a couple of our breakout sessions?
You can.
One is managing your professional relationships. We have a panel presented by PNC Bank. And Stop Being a Superwoman, The Art of Delegation.
Jeannie, you need to go to that one.
Thanks. And then Leading from Within, Are You an International Generator or an Accidental Terminator? And then Reinventing Yourself in Today's Job Market, which is Jim Booker again. Yeah.
Cool. Now, you guys also do a raffle.
We
Right?
do a
That
raffle.
benefits,
We have about
benefits.
25 beautiful gift baskets that are donated. And the proceeds from the gift basket raffle will go to Agape for Youth this year. That's a foster care agency in the Dayton area.
That's great. Now, do you guys do that every year? Do you choose like a nonprofit that gets that?
We do each year. In fact, we try to tie a lot of our events at WIBN to a nonprofit. For instance, our After 5 network that we have quarterly, we highlight a nonprofit, and we provide items that they have a need for, maybe shampoo or body wash, those kind of things that for a nonprofit. And then for each year in March, we have a Lunch and Learn that is dedicated fundraiser for Clothes That Work in Dayton, and that's part of the ticket sales all goes to that. And then we collect gently used or new handbags and accessories for women.
Like Dress for Success program.
It
right?
is.
Very nice. Well, I wanted to tell our listeners, maybe you all know about this already, but I found this interesting thing that was actually dated a couple of days ago from the Dayton Daily News. So you do have to consider the source, but this article said that the city of Dayton is rated the top business-friendly metro city in Ohio, according to the small business owners. And the business owners, a survey was organized by Thumbtack. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's sort of a business referral and gathering website. It's sort of growing in popularity and strength. So based on the Thumbtack, contacts of business owners, Dayton has emerged as being number one. It was given that kind of rating because it has an overall friendliness and tax code, which is really beneficial. So 12,000 U.S. small businesses were included in this partnership. And there's a president from an architecture firm based in Dayton called Levin Partners and Associates. And he's quoted in the article as saying, "It's a good environment for our firm." Had a lot of support from the community through the years. So it sounds like Dayton's already been, you guys are already with it.
I find it a very collaborative city. I mean, everybody works together for success and support of one another.
Why is that? I mean, what do you think adds to that component?
Well, I think that, Dayton is a small town. It's a big city, but it's a small town atmosphere. And I think within WIBN, there's a great deal of support of women. And I attribute the success of the organization to that, because they come into the organization saying, what can I do to make you a success, rather than what's going to be successful for me if I join your group. So I think it's all across the city. I think we can find that kind of support within organizations.
Neat. Let me just say that Cincinnati was graded a C+.
Oh.
But we're getting there.
We can work with that.
You need to come to our conference.
Yes.
They need to come to the conference.
There you go. All right. Well, we've been talking with Jeannie Porter of WIBN, Melissa Kuchar of the Better Business Bureau of Dayton and Miami Valley, and Janet Jackson from Organization Solutions, LLC. Listening to American Dreamers on 55 KRC, the talk station. Welcome back. You're listening to the American Dreamers radio show dedicated to celebrating, supporting, and connecting small businesses and building communities. We're talking with Jeannie Porter of WIBN, Melissa Kuchar of the Better Business Bureau of Dayton and Miami Valley, and Janet Jackson from Organization Solutions, LLC. You didn't know she did that in addition to singing, did you? Different Janet Jackson, but much prettier. Anyways, we've been talking about this leadership conference that is being put on by WIBN and the Better Business Bureau of Dayton, Miami Valley. Sounds like a great opportunity for women and men. You said men are welcome. So,
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Besides, it's probably a pretty good ratio for a guy to be there, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Up in Sinclair, Ponitz
Center.
Wednesday, September 24th. We'll go back to that kind of information so you can get registered early and save some money. But I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about your individual backgrounds. A lot of people start doing this stuff because of something, that's important to them, that's relevant for them in their personal lives. And they start getting involved and dedicate all this time and energy as you three have done. So why do you do it?
Why do we do what we do?
Yeah, Jeannie. Why do you do that? You were the founder of WIBN from how long ago?
We started the organization back in 2008. And prior to that, my background is I was the director of a program called CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocate Program. I started the program in Greene County, which is Xenia, Ohio, and served as their director for 12 years. And then I it's kind of interesting, took a turn. A friend of mine asked me to go into business with her, furniture business of all things. And so I took an early retirement from Greene County and was going to do that. And that ended up not happening, which is okay because that's when WIBN was developed. And then I also, when the judge in Warren County heard that I wasn't at Greene County any longer, wanted a CASA program in Warren County, which is Lebanon, Ohio. He asked if I would come and start a program there. So I was there for about 2.5 years on a part-time basis and doing WIBN. And then WIBN became too busy for me to do both, so I left the court system then and have been doing WIBN since 2010 full-time. And then in January 1st of this year, we became a program of the Better Business Bureau in Dayton, Miami Valley area.
So is the CASA program a court-appointed advocacy for children?
Children that have been abused and neglected, yes.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate we have to have a program like that, but it's very fortunate for children that we do have a program like that. It has changed children's lives because those volunteers really go out and find out information about those children so that they can come back, and they're really the voice for a child in court. Children don't go to court, so they really become the child and sharing with the court what their needs are and what their wants are.
Fantastic. Very difficult job, I would imagine.
It is.
But rewarding, right?
Yes, it is, absolutely.
And you're doing kind of something similar.
Yes.
Helping women who are often mothers.
Absolutely. That's the reward for being involved with Women in Business Networking, is watching women become so encouraged and empowered within themselves, doing things that they want to do, being who they want to be. And I think it's all because of the encouragement of the women in this organization. I've had women in career transition start their own business, and they've told me that they would have never done that if they hadn't had the encouragement of the women in this organization. So it's changing lives. It really is.
That is really interesting, and I can't stress enough. I've been to a couple of the coffee talks now, and I've met some of the other members of WIBN, and that is a very special component of WIBN versus a lot of great other networking groups that you could be a part of. And that is, corny as it sounds, like sort of a individual spiritual support component that's there with that versus going to a place to sort of get leads and referrals to build money, get money, right? Build your business. Yeah.
And several people have asked me somehow why I decided to go with the Better Business Bureau as a program of them. And there were other programs that or organizations that I could have considered, and I did, and did some research on all of them. But the Better Business Bureau floated to the very top because they have the ethics and the integrity that women in business have. And John North, the CEO and president of the Better Business Bureau, is truly an out-of-the-box thinker and very innovative. And so we work really well together and think a lot alike. So
nice.
It's been a great opportunity for us.
And so, Melissa, obviously the Better Business Bureau saw the value of, absorbing Jeannie and her organization, right?
Right. How could you not?
Now, is this something that happens with the BBB often? Do you find other organizations and say...
No, I really feel like that because of John's vision and him absolutely being innovative, that when we come to him with an idea, he mulls it around and grasps hold of it and starts figuring out how we can make it happen. And so many women in the Miami Valley area, the Dayton Miami Valley area, are looking for these kinds of opportunities. And business owners that are part of or accredited businesses with the Better Business Bureau, what we've heard them say since the merger has been, this is what I've been looking for. I've been looking for this kind of thing from you. So it's a perfect come together of both of our organizations where we could provide something so meaningful and wonderful to not only women that are entrepreneurs, but women that are in career, the key players in an organization. So to me, it was a perfect come together.
And for you, Janet, I mean, it makes sense. You have your own business, and you're a woman.
Right.
And this is sort of a woman's networking group. But why get involved further?
That's a great question.
I think
I started my business.
Is it because you just can't say no?
No.
Janet,
Funny.
help.
This is funny. That's part of what I teach people because I'm a recovering yes addict. Can you help? Yes, sure, I'll do it. And then I started realizing I'm giving up what's important to me to help you, which sometimes that makes sense, but I'm a recovering yes addict. I try to help people not be so overcommitted. So it says a lot that I would volunteer time with this organization because I do believe in it so much. I started my business in 2000. I believe I joined Women in Business Networking about 5 years ago, and I, to this day, would tell you it is the single best decision I have made for my business, and also probably one of the best decisions I've made for myself as a person. It supports me as much professionally as it does, or as much personally as it does professionally. So it makes it easy to want to give back. You want to give back.
Right.
And besides that, no one can say no to Jeannie.
I've encountered that.
Yeah. Drank the Kool-Aid already, did you?
Like, you will say yes. All right. So once again, I want to go back over the info, and you can get this info, and you can register online and save yourself $51. Did I do the math right? Yeah, sorry.
You can.
I do try to defeat those Asian stereotypes whenever possible. So yes, save yourself $51. Register at WIBN.org. This is the Leadership Conference.
Leadership Development Conference.
Leadership Development Conference.
Called the Heart of Servant Leadership.
Okay. And again, what are the details of the conference?
Wednesday, September 24th. Registration will start about 8:30. We should be out the door, get everyone out by 4 o'clock. It's at the Sinclair Ponent Center in downtown Dayton. Parking, good news, parking's included.
Yay.
Yeah.
And breakfast and lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Breakfast
And then you can
lunch.
go listen to Janet.
That's right.
And if I could just mention a couple of our sponsors.
Yes, absolutely. I was just going to get to that.
Our major sponsor is Happy Hormone Cottage. And if you don't know about Happy Hormone Cottage, go online. You'll love that one. Our PNC Bank and Cox Media Group, Kettering Health Network, and Premier Health are our supporting sponsors.
Well, kudos to them for their support of
Yes.
you, right? Jeannie, Janet, and Melissa, thank you very much for coming on, sharing your story, and promoting this conference. I think it's going to be of a great benefit to anybody who attends, right? Exhibitor or attendee. And we have promised at least 2 people from the show. So when you get there, just tell them at registration, you heard it on us. Anyways, we have to wrap up today's show, but if you would like to be a guest or if you want to just comment or critique, we do love criticism. Send us an email question. You can do so. Go to our website at americandreamers.biz, B-I-Z, for Business Improvement Zone. On the website, you can also listen to any of our previous shows or podcasts. So you can get this info over and over again from this show. Anyways, thank you again. And, I got to do the sign off. So, okay. So Tom does this much better than I do, but I'm going to wing it. It's really difficult to start a business, and it's nearly impossible to make that business succeed. We see statistics on that all the time. But if you are crazy and passionate enough to do that, we are crazy and passionate about helping you. So this is what you should do. And among all the other things, you should listen to American Dreamers every Sunday night at 9 p.m. We will give you the backstory of great people like Jeannie, Melissa, and Janet, and these events that they do, resources that are available for you, and great people to connect with, to find out about. So until next week, I am Sunho Donovan, and we want you to go out there and be an American dreamer.